Good morning. It's Thursday.
Yes, it is.
And, well, it's not raining today.
No, not exactly.
Not yet. Not yet.
It's still the raining season.
It's still the rainy season. But we're saying, welcome to the show. It's going to be a great day.
One thing I can say is this is the most anticipated time of the morning because we're here. Hey, we're here to help you soar into a great day.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, it's still the anniversary week.
For Nigeria.
Nigeria at 59. And I know Mary.
What? Okay. Mary what?
I wanted to connect Mary to the 59-year-old, but it's not working.
It's not working.
It's not working,
It could have.
Work. It can't work. Though, of course, sometimes I fancy myself a 60-year-old.
Oh, wow, Mary.
So I'm older than Nigeria mentally.
Just stop it. Can we move on?
No, you were the one that involved me. You have to enjoy the involvement. Because Jeje Minimu, wow.
All right, now over the next 3 hours or so, we're going to be here with you. My name is Yomi Ope.
And I'm Titilaya Oyinson. Now, we need you to do something. We need you to note that you can stream with us. Please, please, please go to our website. That's tvcentertainment.tv. And, of course, Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Yeah, of course, don't forget, you can use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria to send us, #WakeUpNigeria on TVC to send us comments across all our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook as well.
Now, one other thing you can do is download our mobile app. We have it on Android, we have it on iOS. We have something that you can have on your mobile device that will just click when you want to see us.
Yeah, so I like the way Titi is standing this morning.
Thanks, Yomi.
The thing, like she's...
Yeah, it's a new thing.
Like she's on a...
It's a new thing. You want to try the other side?
Like she's on a runway.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Mary should do that as well.
Yeah, this is it.
This is the thing today. Everybody goes like this.
That's the thing.
I bet but one Romeo.
That's it right there. All right, so straight to this morning's highlights. And now, as we said earlier, it's celebratory week. And then after that, we're going to be having, of course, after the musical performance, we're going to be having a couple of guests joining us on the show. And one of them is Ngozi Ilondu, a marketing professional with experience that spans across various industries. Now, she's also the author of the book, The Chronic School Hater.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. I'm sure many of you remember that you hated school when you were younger.
But then again, we also have some information on the latest in technology. Mike has an update in the world of advertising for small-scale businesses, especially when they're online. Then on to the second musical performance for the day. And of course, the Afro-pop and Afro-R&B artist weaves words and melodies. Who's been in the art industry for quite a while, I have to say. And many of his works can be seen all over the world.
Yes, indeed. And our final guest is actor Damilare Kuku, who was in the 2008 Love is War and this year's Chief Daddy. She also boasts of a bachelor's degree in dramatic arts and a master's degree in theater arts. So she was ready for the industry.
As in
She came ready.
Yes, indeed. All right, you guys.
So Thursday, we don't have that much time. It's already 6:09. But yeah, welcome. It's almost the weekend.
It's great to see you guys and great to feel like the weekend is almost here again.
There's a lot of green stuff going on with Titi lately.
Oh, yeah.
Even her dress has a touch of green.
Yeah, small touch of green.
Why do I feel like you're going to change this dress?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's working.
Yeah.
Well, I like it.
It's something about the NBC code.
Okay.
But I do have to take the news now. And President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived South Africa to begin a 3-day state visit. The presidential jet touched down at the Waterkloof Air Base in Pretoria at about 10 minutes past 9 p.m. local time. He was received by a delegation, including top government functionaries and other dignitaries. The president, in the course of this state visit, will sit in talks with his host, President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari will also attend a binational commission meeting along with President Ramaphosa, where crucial agreements will be signed. The president will equally attend a business meeting and a town hall meeting with Nigerian nationals in South Africa before he returns to Nigeria tomorrow, Friday. Now, the Department of State Services, DSS, has handed over Abdul Rashid Maina to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and he is being quizzed by the operators. The former chairman of the Pension Reform Task Team was arrested at the Pennsylvania Avenue Hotel in Utako on Monday, along with his 20-year-old son, Faisal. The DSS says Faisal had pulled a pistol against the security agents involved in the operation, but of course he was disarmed and arrested. The arrest follows a request by the EFCC to the service to assist in apprehending the suspect. Items recovered from the suspect include a pistol with live ammunition, a bulletproof Range Rover SUV, a BMW saloon car, foreign currencies, a Phantom 7 drone, and sensitive documents. The Federal High Court sitting in Calabar will on Friday rule on whether journalist and rights activist Agba Jalingo will be granted bail or remain in custody. Trial Judge Justice Simeon Amobeda will also be ruling on the preliminary objection raised by the prosecution. Agba Jalingo was arraigned on the 25th of September after 34 days in police custody for alleged treason and purported attempt to topple the Cross River State government. His ordeal began after he wrote an article which sought the whereabouts of the 500 million naira approved and released for the floating of the Cross River State Microfinance Bank. The Cross River State government has denied being behind the matter. Now, the Sokoto State government, Aminu Tambuwal, has reacted to his victory at the Sokoto State Governorship Election Tribunal that delivered its judgment in Abuja on Wednesday. Mr. Tambuwal addressed supporters at the Sokoto State Government House and attributed his victory at the polls and tribunal to God and the support of the people of Sokoto State. He extended his hand of fellowship to members of the opposition in the state to come and join in moving the state forward and further strengthen the peace and unity of the people in the state. He says the victory is a popular victory, as evident in the joy and happiness being expressed by the majority of the people in the state.
Who, in the first place, has given us victory at the general elections, at the run, and again today at the tribunal. We give him all the adoration, and we thank him for his kindness to us. It is a very overwhelming feeling of happiness and joy, not only for me, but as you can see, to the generality of the people of Sokoto State.
Basically, there was no proof of the allegations in the petition. That was the foundation for the dismissal of the case.
None that is against us does not mean all is lost. If anything, it's just a challenge of meeting up the time within which to file our own appeal.
That job creation in any society will be an easier task when there is peace. This is what stakeholders who visited Kula Kingdom, the host community of the OML 25, concluded. The event was the reopening of the Belema oil flow. Now let's take a look at this.
The resolution of the protracted dispute on OML 25 is a welcome development, considering the economic and social outcome of the commencement of oil and gas production in the rich oil field. Part of the reasons for the pleasant feeling is the recognition of Belema Oil as joint venture partner. The measurement of this development is that in less than 3 years, about 3,000 youths of Kula Kingdom and environs have been employed in different aspects of the project.
Nigeria has a growing population, about 3 to 5%, and in the next 30 years, we're going to be experiencing a population growth of about 380 million, and 65% to 75% of that population are young ones like you guys. And we're going to be dealing with a population of over 180 million in the next 30 years. And if you do nothing, then you're going to deal with a lot of social issues. I mean, if we fail to put a platform that enables business to thrive in this part of the country, then we have a major challenge.
Minister of State for Petroleum Resources is optimistic about the future of the kingdom as long as peace reigns.
We have fought to this point, and the federal government at least has started looking our way. It is time for us to change strategy and to ensure that we begin to bring the benefits of investments to our community. If we don't make our communities peaceful, investments cannot come. The investors are ready to come here. And without the investors, there will be no jobs for our youth.
With improved human capacity development initiatives provided by the Amnesty Program, only a peaceful environment in the once restive Niger Delta region is required to provide jobs for the teeming youths of the area.
Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. The weather update is next, and after that, a quick break.
Yes, indeed. The headlines in the papers start with the Punch this morning. It says here on the $9.6 billion judgment, federal government orders lawyers to appeal $200 million security deposit to demand return of $250,000 payment if appeal succeeds. Okay, that's a twist. At the top of the page here, it says federal government's domestic debt rises by 1.26 trillion naira. I'll remain loyal to Buhari, says Osinbajo. DSS hands over Maina to EFCC for prosecution. It also says here $21 billion unremitted fund. Senate probes 7 oil firms. Meanwhile, 27 billion naira Senate President, Speaker, others houses remain uncompleted. Federal government returns toll gates, approves 46 billion naira for highways. And finally, Labour issues October 16th deadline for minimum wage payment. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
Let's check out the Nigerian Tribune this morning with the headline, Senate may reject VAT increase. Lawmakers propose communications tax to be levied on voice calls, SMS, MMS data usage from telecommunication service providers, and a couple of other riders there. And why land borders will remain closed, Customs CG says. And xenophobic attack, 32 or your returnees get 30,000 naira each. Another 400 Nigerians ready to leave South Africa. Wow, says federal government. And police discover another baby factory in Lagos. 7 pregnant women rescued. And minimum wage, Labour gives federal government 1 week to conclude negotiations. We can't guarantee industrial peace beyond October 16, Labour says. And up here, federal government to appeal 200 million naira security payment. That's on the PNID case, and says Nigeria won 5 grounds of appeal against the $9.6 billion judgment. And finally, federal government set to return toll gates to highways. Wow. I should slow down some journeys. But yeah, that's what we have on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune.
Yeah, what you just said is really, really interesting, because the headline on the Vanguard is uproar as federal government returns toll gates to federal roads. It's insensitive, anti-people, say PDP. No reason to bring back toll gates, say Kakol. Government being unfair, says ex-NBA vice chair. You can't raise VAT, bring back toll gates at the same time, says the Advocacy Center. 4 years too short for leaders to make impact, says Jonathan. $9.6 billion judgment debt. UK court's order stopped seizure of Nigeria's assets, says Lai Mohammed. On insecurity, we won't rest until our people sleep with their eyes closed, say the Southwest governors. And why Buhari moved NSIP from Osinbajo's office, according to APC. Meanwhile, PDP keeps mum. Flu may recur if if our facilities are not fixed, say Queen's College students. Page 10 has more on that story. And then there's a photo story here as Buhari arrives South Africa. And he's being received by the Foreign Minister of South Africa, Lindiwe Sisulu, on arrival for a 3-day official visit yesterday. Of course, he's in the country for talks with President Cyril Ramaphosa. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Let's take a look at this day. Stay of execution evidence. A strong case against PNID, says federal government. Appeals $200 million security for stay and insists PNID bribed Nigerian official with billions of naira to secure failed deal. A government reintroduces tolling on highways and PDP rejects move. A tribunal confirmed Tambuwal and Ganduje Lalong as governors. That story is on page 5. And up here, CBN debits 12 banks 499 billion naira for 60% loan ratio default, and credits to private sector rises to 16.3 trillion naira. And finally, Buhari's Economic Advisory Council sets for inaugural meeting. That's what we have on the cover of this day.
We have the Daily Sun here. And it says, alleged pension fraud. EFCC detains Maina after DSS arrest. The ex-director's son pulled pistol to stall father's arrest, says one security agency there. Meanwhile, as is with the other papers, federal government moves to return toll gates on roads. And, of course, PDP, Afenifere, ex-NERC chair, others condemn plan. NLC, TUC to give federal government October 15th deadline to pay minimum wage. And on 2020 budget, Buhari holds emergency FEC on Saturday. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
Yeah, well, that's about all that we can take on newspaper headlines for this hour. Of course, we'll come back at the 7 o'clock hour with more. Stay with us.
Good morning and thank you for staying tuned. It is time for Lagos traffic updates on Wake Up Nigeria. And this morning, I can't wait to get started because there's loads of traffic everywhere. Not really as bad as it usually is, but there is still traffic. Now, please note that you can always be a part of this segment by sending a message on Instagram, on Facebook, or even on Twitter to let us know what the traffic situation is where you are at the moment, and perhaps take a traffic selfie. That's if you're not behind the wheels. And remember to use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at Maryland bus stop all the way to CMS Garage. Okay. So heading out from Maryland bus stop right now, it's actually free-flowing traffic. Amazingly so. In fact, the free-flowing traffic goes through Anthony right now. That's amazing. So as you're stepping out from Maryland bus stop, it's free-flowing through Anthony, and it goes through Obani Koro, and it continues that way until you get to, okay, as you're approaching Fadei, that's when the traffic starts around the Shomolu axis. So that's where the traffic begins. It builds up, and then it becomes bumper to fender traffic, and then it eases out, and then it becomes lighter. That's around the Onipanu area. That's where it becomes free-flowing again, but only for a short while. As you're approaching Igbobi Orthopedic Hospital, it becomes light traffic again, and it goes on free-flowing traffic again, and then it just keeps going on like that. Light traffic, free-flowing, light traffic, free-flowing. But don't you worry, it will take you just about 40 minutes conservatively to get to CMS Garage this morning. As you are approaching Ijora, the Eco Bridge is mostly free. You'd experience pockets of traffic here and there, but it's light traffic, no bumper to fender traffic. Until you get to the island itself, that's where you would experience some traffic. The traffic gridlock isn't so much, so there's nothing to fear in that axis. Akpogbon right now is actually free-flowing, amazingly so. But of course, as you're approaching the CMS Garage, the traffic begins to build up again. So you should just prepare your mind for that, that traffic that is. And of course, if you drive carefully, you need to also have consideration for other road users, and I'm sure you'll be just fine on the road. Now let's take a look at another axis, talking about the Orun-Shoki to Obalende axis. As it is now, it will take you just about 55 minutes to get to Obalende under bridge from Orun-Shoki, okay? Might take you lesser, but conservatively, that's how long it will take you. So heading out from Orun-Shoki, the usual pockets of traffic, but it's mostly free-flowing. In fact, when you get on the 3rd Mainland Bridge this morning, you think to yourself, oh, it's a lucky day, but it's not. Because when you pass Iwaya axis, the traffic begins to build up. It starts as light traffic for just about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it becomes bumper to fender traffic, and it continues that way till you get to the intersection where the bridge, that's from Clinic Road, where those coming from Yaba join the 3rd Mainland Bridge. It's still pretty heavy gridlock there, and it goes on like that till you get off the bridge. When you're approaching Osborneville, the traffic eases out, but only just a bit, okay? So don't expect too much free-flowing traffic today heading to the island. In fact, Osborne area is bumper to fender right now, but when you pass the Osborne Bridge, it's immediately it becomes free-flowing traffic. In fact, it's so sudden, there's no light traffic before the free-flowing traffic. But it's deceptively so, because as you're approaching Obalende, the traffic gridlock is quite heavy. There is bumper to fender through Moloni Street and all. That's the way it is right now. And then for those living in the Ile-Epo axis, let me just tell you right now that the traffic isn't so bad, okay? So there's nothing to worry about. Ile-Epo bus stop to Oshodi Bridge will take you just about 50 minutes this morning, okay? So just drive carefully, be patient, have consideration for other road users, and you'll be just fine, okay? At least you get to the office in one piece. All right, I'll be joining the guys in the kitchen right now. I wonder what's going on. I see coffee and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so it looks like it's something special.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some Nigerian-made coffee right here.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like Nigerian-made, but I'm coming to join you guys.
Mary. So how does our coffee look now, Mary?
Yeah, how does our coffee look?
All right.
Anyway, we have a guest joining us.
Yes,
I'm sure you guys are noticing from the screen.
Someone new. Yeah. And her
She's
name,
a princess.
Yes.
Apparently.
So this is Princess Adeyinka. Now she's the founder of Happy Coffee.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, and she's here to talk to us about the Lagos Coffee Festival.
Yes.
That's happening. So welcome to the show. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
our
Good morning.
kitchen.
Thank you. It's good to see everybody.
So originally this was Coffee Gist. We had to move it to Up and About because of some people, 2 people that have been mentioning it. But let's
One
leave
of
them.
them is Halima.
Yeah. but today we're back to Coffee Gist.
Yes.
Today's Coffee Gist.
Yes.
So what's
Because
this
somebody
about
came to help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about your coffee journey, Happy Coffee journey.
Yes. I like to start by saying that 22 states in Nigeria can grow coffee.
Wow.
Including Lagos.
Wow.
And it's amazing how a crop and a commodity can be that powerful. My journey was very simple. I just asked a simple question. Why didn't average Nigerians have access to locally grown coffee? Coffee grows in Kogi. Kogi coffee used to be the best when we were high in production, and we have coffee from Taraba. This coffee you have right here is from Taraba. You can even open it. They say open and smell the coffee.
Open and smell the
Yes.
coffee.
Open and
Very
smell
nice.
the coffee.
And it's freshly roasted coffee. Yes.
Wow.
It's strong.
Yeah.
Freshly roasted, man.
Freshly
Very nice.
roasted.
It's strong.
Wow,
Yes.
wow, wow.
So there's so much around coffee that we need to educate Nigerians about because we can't keep importing what we drink. So we also need to support local consumption with our own farmers. So that's how my journey started.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So tell us about, you love coffee so much, you decided, okay, you know what, let's create a festival out of this to make noise about coffee and Nigerian coffee. So talk to us about what you're doing.
For the journey, like I said, I've been on this journey for 4 years. But most importantly, there is an economy around coffee. First, I like to say that what oil is to Nigeria is what coffee is to Brazil. Yeah. That means economies around the world thrive on coffee. So our case can be different, especially because 22 states can grow coffee, including Lagos.
That's amazing.
So for all you know, in your backyard, you could grow a coffee tree. So for us, the Coffee Festival is putting to light the basics about the Nigerian coffee economy, looking at the entire value chain. So on Saturday, you're going to be seeing farmers from across the country, all the way to people who use coffee, like myself, who have a coffee brand, ladies who use coffee for coffee scrubs, an artist who paints with coffee. We're going to be seeing an exclusive arrangement of all of these wonderful people so that people can know that it's beyond the cup. There are people actually creating employment through coffee and even making money and creating wealth.
So incidentally, what you can see now, this was at the Brazil consulate. That was over a week ago. And it was a pre-event, it was a special event, you know, and, you know, like she said, Brazil is the top exporter of coffee in the world. So it made sense for us to collaborate with Brazil to laud it, as I would put it, to laud it. And everything she said now, does this artist who does his stuff, everything on coffee, I'm sure you might see some part of it, there were some exhibitors there. It was, I mean, in my mind, I was like, Yomi needs to be here. So the ambience was something else.
You now want a war jacket and there
was coffee. There was coffee, like, so you could feel. I was feel like one coffee connoisseur. I just said like this. Say, this is Bauchi coffee. This is Plateau. That one is Lagos coffee. But it was a wonderful event and all of that. So you were talking about that Brazil. Why was it so important? I know, yes, they are the top. But why would we want to have some kind of collaboration with them?
First thing, you learn from the best.
Your head is there.
You learn from the best. And they were very open. The doors were really open to us.
That's a consular general. Okay. I don't know if you can hear what he said, but
the doors were open to us. And because we know that one of the ways where we can boost our own production is through learning more expertise, gaining more knowledge about it. So our goal is, after the festival, we're going to be looking at relationships where we can collaborate, where we can bring farmers over to Brazil, and also bring some of the expertise back to our own farmers so that we can boost our production as a country.
Amazing.
Now, when I was checking the package, I saw chocolatey taste. So me, I love chocolate. So I don't know, is there an infusion of cocoa? How did you achieve that?
So coffee takes its taste from the soil. So that means if you grow coffee in Oyo State, for example, the taste will be different from, this is from Taraba.
I told you.
So I'm not sure if it's the influence of cocoa over the years, but different coffee would pick the taste from the soil.
So because Oyo has a lot of cocoa, if you grow it from there, it will have some of that, a little bit of that.
It's possible. If you grow coffee where there is honey or bees, there will be an infusion. So there is all of that.
I should go into this. I think I should go into this coffee.
You know, so you met. It was so earlier on. Before now, there was a time when Yomi used to get Brazilian coffee, and he would come and he'll just permit it. So he'll come and, you know, very proud. No one will get coffee from Brazil. That's number one. So Yomi just come in and just put his coffee maker. He had this coffee maker, and so the coffee maker too was Beira too. And you just come and you just put it on. So the whole newsroom would just be, what's happening here? So it had this distinct feel. But you know, there's a question I asked when I was at the consulate, and I was like, okay, so how, since we're collaborating with them, what can we learn to improve the quality of our own coffee? You are a local coffee producer. What can you do, or what are you doing that would improve the quality of your coffee?
Advocacy is very key in any form of, in any sector, and also because the sector had been abandoned for so long. For me, as an advocate and as a brand, first, we promote Nigerian-grown coffee just because, one, we also have the capacity to grow that particular industry all the way from the farms to the cup. I also look forward to having more entrepreneurs get into this business as coffee entrepreneurs. I tell people, look, I'm a Meshai. Forget the plenty sophistication. I make tea. I make coffee. That is who I am. So, and it's a business that has been thriving for decades. If you go through the north, even to Lagos, on every street corner, people have been drinking coffee for decades. But there's also a Western influence that we see. So we assume that if we're not drinking it in cafes, but that is Western influence. We believe that Nigeria has her own culture, and that culture is going to evolve. And those are the kind of things you're going to be seeing at the festival, because we're going to begin to evolve our own Nigerian coffee story.
So there will be Meshais at the festival?
Oh yes, like myself.
Meshai was a big word that was thrown around.
I'm so sorry, let's just just
For
quickly
those who
check
don't
the
know what
date.
Misha is, this is how. This is
These are the dates.
And they are such
The date for the festival
Is October 5th.
Okay.
This Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yes, starting from 10 o'clock.
Okay.
In Ikoyi at Nakino's. We will be there in full-fledged in our coffee glory.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very nice.
All
very nice.
right.
I'm going to be stopping by. There's a lot. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of free coffee.
There will be. Are so
Yes,
beautiful.
this is my Nigerian artisan. Her name is Ashabara. She created all these mugs for you guys this morning.
Thank you, Ashabara.
And it's for Lagos.
Thank you.
So
Okay, so I don't have my mug yet.
not yet. No worries.
we'll roll it up.
I told the consular general about you, that you love coffee, so he'll be expecting
We
you.
have to take a break, people. We have to take a break. A big shout out to Happy Coffee for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Princess Adeyinka, for joining us.
All right.
Welcome back. Now, if it's bright and shining, then it must be the smile that we put across your faces every single morning.
I like it. Now, it really looks like we've done it again.
Yes, we have.
A drop of sunshine. So even when it's rainy, we just like to brighten your mood.
Yeah, we do.
On a Thursday morning.
So it's time for round two. Ding, ding, ding. We are beginning the second hour of the show. And it's all about entertaining you.
Yes,
So
indeed.
please.
Yes, indeed. There's more to come on the show. So just stick with us for the next 2 hours or so. My name is Yomi Obi.
And I'm Titilayo Unison. Now we're live streaming, believe it or not, tvcentertainment.tv and of course Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Send in your comments on our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. And someone is asking, is Mary Yoruba?
Yeah.
Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Yeah, because Mary spoke Yoruba at about 6 a.m. this morning.
Yes, she did.
And lots of people wondering, why is this Igbo girl speaking Yoruba?
I can be anything I want to be, okay? See, I'm proudly Nigerian. I can be Hausa, I can be Fulani, I can be Igbo, I can be Edo, I can be anywhere. Ngwanu, let's move on.
Okay, so I'm not going to jump on that table. It seems like it might break sometime soon. But we have an app available for you to download. Please, you go to the Android or iOS stores for your handheld devices so you can watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Now, of course, we've got something happening in the kitchen. Mary's already, you guys are already getting busy over
dabbling.
There. Yes, indeed.
Yes, we are trying to get everything set up for breakfast this morning. Of course, we have Chef Ayo in the building. And as usual, Madam scoop and eat meat.
I know, right?
If you see all the meat, it seems like we'll not finish cooking today because I don't know why she's always having so much.
I'm so extra.
You are so extra. No. Yes, even you are extra.
I'm not regular.
That's very nice. All right, so let's go to the rest of the highlights that we have for you this morning. Ngozi Ilondu is a marketing professional with experience that spans across various industries, and she's also the author of the book, The Chronic School Hater. How do you deal with those kids?
Yes, sir. And of course, for the latest in technology, Mike has the update in the world of advertising for small-scale businesses.
For music, we're going to be having singer and songwriter Medaloni with us for a musical performance.
Afro-pop and Afro R&B artist who weaves words and melodies. His name is Irife. He's going to be here very, very soon.
Too much talent in this country. Joining us for an art display is Paul Ogunlesi, who has been in the industry for quite a while, and many of his works can be seen the world over.
And our final guest for today is Nigerian actor Damilare Kuku, who was in the 2018 movie Love is War and this year's Chief Daddy. Now, she boasts of a bachelor's degree in dramatic arts and a master's degree in theater arts, and I have a feeling that conversation is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. So, guys,
Drama.
stuff happening today.
Oh, yeah. What day is it?
Today is a Virus Appreciation Day.
Wow.
I'm serious. That's what I'm seeing here.
Oh,
and
my
it
goodness.
says viruses are a part of human existence and all that. Well,
We should appreciate them.
yeah,
Is it a
yeah,
tech
okay.
virus or which one?
Yeah, they said thankfully computer viruses can't infect humans.
Yet.
Well, don't even think of it. Imagine someone going, I've been infected by the computer.
No. But the second we make
There's always a kid in every one of us. So they just roll back the years.
No, but you know that in the next 50 years that can happen because
Tech.
Yeah, because when humans start becoming bionic, so you have a bionic arm.
It's not up
you
to
have
50 years.
It's happening now.
Yeah, so
you have places whereby you walk in and chips have been implanted in people already.
Yeah.
So rather than show your ID card, it will just scan you.
So imagine they can just hack.
So if you're a scam,
Something came to mind now, but
can
I
just
feel
hack
like
you.
if I say it, I want to cause trouble. So let me just move on. I'm sure you already know what it is.
Cause trouble.
I'm just going to say 999.
Wow.
Okay, so talking about Imagine, today is also Bring Your Bible to School Day, Boyfriend's Day, and Techies Day. We're looking forward to you talking Techies.
Let's take his day.
Oh my, the cooking has already begun. You're welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Today we have Chef Ayo. Where's the drum roll now? What's happening? I'm going to have you in the kitchen today.
Yes, I'm here.
As usual, she's always extra. What are we making this morning?
Okay, we're making pasta.
Pasta.
Yeah, with
This is not just pasta with
meatball sauce.
meatball sauce.
And mushroom.
And mushrooms. So by the time we finish this, we're already full, Chef. Pasta with meatball sauce and mushrooms. Okay.
Yes.
So what are we making use of?
Oh, okay. We're making use of vegetable oil,
Okay.
oyster sauce,
Okay.
and soy sauce,
Okay.
bell pepper, garlic,
Okay.
onions, carrot, tomato paste, then seasoning cubes, thyme, curry, then minced
Salt,
meat.
of course.
Yeah.
Minced meat.
Then egg.
You have 2 eggs in here.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is for to
The
mold.
sauce.
Yeah, to mold the
Meatballs.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
And this is mushroom.
Okay. Okay. So what's the first thing we're doing?
Okay, we have our pasta here.
Boiling already.
Boiling.
Okay. Let's
So-
cook the pasta. Okay. So now that we have the pasta boiling, what's the next thing we're doing?
I think we should start preparing our sauce.
Okay. Okay. Let's get started with that.
Yes. So
Yeah. So what's the first thing we're doing?
the vegetable oil,
Okay.
because we need to fry the meatball.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we
So
are.
is it deep frying for the meatballs?
Yes. Yes.
Deep frying. Okay. So while the oil heats up,
So
what
we,
are you going to do
we are
with the
mixing the meatballs.
okay.
So now we are adding our. I like to add my
Soy sauce.
soy sauce.
Okay.
Just little.
Okay.
Then a bit of
Seasoning.
curry
Curry. Okay.
powder. Just little, then little thyme. Then seasoning cube.
Okay.
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah, just
for
one.
all of this meatball.
Yeah, because we're still going to use for the sauce, for the pepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we are mixing.
Now the purpose of the egg is to make it easier.
Easier,
To make the balls.
yeah. So you can get the shape, that round shape.
Okay.
You don't want it to scatter. Yeah, so.
Okay. So the egg helps it to stick together.
Yeah,
and of course
stick
stay
together. So you
So
have
you
to.
keep mixing this
Yeah.
until everything has merged inside.
Then you start rolling.
Okay. I hope we're able to finish rolling before our oil, because
And but it has to really, it has to be really hot.
really heat up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you check your screen right now, you'd see the ingredients for today's meal. Talking about pasta and meatball sauce with mushrooms.
Yes.
So if you've ever wondered what to do with those mushrooms you pass by on the aisle in the supermarket, here's something to do with it. Okay, so I'm going to let her continue with this. She'll definitely roll the meatballs. That shouldn't be so hard. I'm very sure of that, yes. Right now, though, we have to take a break. Wake Up Nigeria continues. Stay with us. Hey, thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for our book chat of the day. This time, it's a book by Ngozi Londu. Ngozi is a marketing professional with experience that spans across various industries. She is also the author of the book, The Chronic School Hater. Now, the book is a colorful, hilarious, but rather practical one that helps teenagers redefine the way they learn. And I'm very sure so many people will be interested in this book, The Chronic School Hater. Now, Ngozi, when I picked up this book, I said to myself, someone has told this lady my story. Who is this person? I'm going after the person.
Yeah.
Because I am a chronic school hater.
Wow, welcome to the club.
I've never believed in maybe it's the educational system we have here.
Yeah.
I've always believed that school shouldn't be the way it is.
Yeah.
Everyone has their learning capacity. Everyone has what interests them.
Yeah.
Why do I have to go this way? Because everyone says I should go this way.
Yeah.
And this book, very enlightening. What informed
Thank
it
you.
anyway?
Well, it was from my own personal experience with school, and also graduating and realizing that I have a lot of people, there are a lot of people that hate school, just like you said. But then there's not a lot of people that are talking about how to navigate school, even if it doesn't change. Because the way that the Nigerian educational system is, we don't know when educational reform will happen. But students are going to have to wake up every morning and go to school. So for me, it was a case of someone had to speak from the backbenchers club to say, I know you're disconnected with school. I know school may not change, but this is how you can navigate it. That's
You know this backbenchers club you talked about? It's so crazy that if I attend events even, I'd rather sit at the back.
At the back?
Like, it's so much a part
It's
of me.
fun at the back.
It's like, okay, at the back you can observe.
Everything.
You can doze off if you want to.
Exactly.
You know, all those
Exactly.
things. I feel akin to this one, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are some things that I find really interesting.
Okay.
There's a part we were talking about the Akada's guide to
Yes.
jacking. I can't
Yeah.
jack. I actually tried to apply that guide to
Yeah,
jacking. It didn't
yeah.
work. Oh.
Well, so you know what I talked about is the fact that so when you're in school, you're being taught that there is a certain way you should learn. For instance, night preps.
That one.
Most of us can read at night. I mean, I remember people saying when you put your leg in water, then you can keep awake. If you drink coffee, you'll be awake. I drink coffee and I go to sleep.
Oh my God.
You know, so it's just about realizing that, okay, so because some people can read all through the night, doesn't mean that you're necessarily wired to do that.
I tried night
Yeah.
prep once when I was in French village.
Yeah.
Let's just say that the class was starting when I was getting up.
Exactly.
And everybody was
You know,
looking at me in my 90.
you know.
I've never felt so embarrassed.
Oh, but you also
in my
know
life.
that there's also the cool factor of saying I actually read all through the night, even though you were sleeping.
Which cool
But people just
factor?
look at you and feel like, this girl
You
knows what
feel
she's
they are
doing.
extremely
Yes,
brilliant.
yes. Because they went for night prep, whereas they didn't really read anything. Yeah, so there was that bit also.
Okay, so how have you been able to navigate through the educational system yourself? Because I'm sure soon you'd have children of your own.
Of course,
You'd want to put them through on such experiences of yours. It's been years since you finished school. Nothing has changed.
Nothing
so
has changed,
how have you been able to actually manage it, especially now that you have this book? Being able to even help other people get through it, especially people like us.
Yeah. So I think the first thing that I always do with people is you've got to be self-aware. So understanding what it is really that you don't like about school. Because people have different reasons. Some people, maybe for them, it's just the fact that they're being bullied.
True.
That's the different
Some
ballgame
people
from
it's
someone
the fact that they are being
or maybe they
made
don't
to
like their
wake up
teacher,
early.
they don't like something. So the first thing is to understand what your own reason is and then find out how to navigate your reason. So if your own is the fact that you don't like your teacher, is there someone else that you can learn from? Is there another article, another textbook, a video that you can use so that you're not frustrated by your teacher, you have a replacement for your teacher? If it's just the whole school you don't like, I had to learn in university how to teach myself what I needed to learn. So that when I come to class, I'm not really frustrated because I practically already know how to teach myself. So I know how to find the textbooks that I can connect with. I know how to find the videos that I can connect with. So that way, whatever the teacher is doing in class, I'm really not bothered because I have backup plan.
No, I really like the fact that the book is focused in teenager language.
Yes.
You know, they have a language.
Yes.
And the reason I'm excited about that is because most of these problems are actually in secondary school.
Secondary school.
Somehow, primary schools seem a little nicer. They just keep pushing you. University, nobody cares. If you turn
Nobody
up.
cares.
But secondary school is actually what influences a child's either love or hatred for school.
Yes.
And so I'm pretty glad you highlighted this. Then the honorable teacher collar.
Yeah. So one time in my school, I was made the teacher collar, and you can imagine what it feels like for someone that doesn't like school to be made to call the teacher. I mean, that was the best time of my life because I picked the teachers I went to call. My school was really big, so a couple of teachers didn't like to come to class. So that's why they gave that position. So, I mean, I had a good time. I would tell teachers that their time is up when their time is up so that they can go. And then the ones I don't like, I won't bother calling them. Just
well, you guys will feel the cost now.
Well, I mean, you know, secondary school, there are some teachers that just don't even know what you're doing. So whether they come or not, we're better off.
Whether or not they're there.
Whether or not they come, we're better off, So.
Okay, so, you know, sometimes when we write books, they actually help us heal.
Yes.
They help us get through the process.
Yes.
Now, as it is, you are still a chronic school hater, but of the educational system here. How did this book help you?
Well, for me, it helped me process my journey. It helped me find out what I didn't do right. It helped me find out what the problems were and helped me also come up with solutions, which I've been applying for the last so many years of my life. But mostly, the fact that it was going to help another student to navigate school was enough healing for me. So when I see someone say, I don't like school, I read your book, and now this is how I'm navigating school, that's enough.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for writing this book. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's something that many teenagers really need to go through to understand why you're even at school. I like the fact that you pointed out the need for school, especially that akada that cannot cope. That boy. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for
having
me.
We have a performance right now for you, and I know for sure that Titi is on standby for that.
Yes, I am. And I have here someone really interesting. We have Olarinwaju Ajibola, popularly known as Medal Noni. He's been in music professionally for 2 years and has singles Lavishly and Dancer. I can't wait to see this performance. So how are you doing? How are you doing? Use your mic. Use your mic.
I'm cool.
All right. So the name of the track you're performing for us now is?
Rolling Dice.
Rolling Dice. That's an interesting title. From where? From where?
Yeah, the title is from, you know, the way I'm feeling. Because I see that if you roll a dice and if it stops, life still goes on. So,
All right. That's an interesting take. It's an interesting take. All right. So you're ready to give them?
Sure.
All right, then let me step away.
Okay.
Medal Noni, take it away.
Talking, they may be laughing, they may be talking digital about me. They say I can't blow it, yeah, they voodoo. I say I can because that's a taboo. I look in the mirror, look at my picture. I see nobody, all I see is me. I wanna be famous, one of the jeans. Get together, cover what magazine. I came for the awesome, with them for bubble. Until I reach me, I want it to be. Yeah. Until I reach where I want it to be.
Welcome back after that wonderful performance. It's Thursday, and you know how we do it. This is our tech discussion. Now, over the past 2 weeks, we've been having a discussion about advertising for small businesses on social media. And of course, Ken Dubisi has been the one doing that wonderful job of educating us and enlightening us. But today, you know, we've talked about how to, you know, indices and parameters you can use to get the best from your adverts. Now, after You have run that ad. What next? That's our topic for today. Ken is also in the house.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you, Ken.
And happy Techies Day.
Yeah. It's our day. It's our day. All right, great one, Ken. So we've put up all our parameters. We've done what we can. We've targeted our audience as we should, and the ads are running. What next?
Okay, so there's 3 main things you want to do now that you've set up everything. You know, over the past few weeks, we've been talking about, you know, setting up the ads and everything.
Okay.
So 3 main things you need to do now that your ads are set up and they're actually working, right?
Okay.
So there's scaling, you need to retarget, and then there's refreshing. So I'm going to start with scaling.
Scaling, okay.
Scaling simply means spending more on your adverts, right? So you've been running ads and now you've determined that there's a particular cost that you're spending to actually get a customer. The next thing you want to do is to actually spend more, right? Because, you know, yes, you need to you need to expand, right? So you're now spending more. Spending more on the platform simply means spending more money for the platform to actually push your content out to more people.
To more people.
Right? So that's the first thing.
But what if, before we get to the second one, what if it still targets the same people that I have already gotten to?
Okay, yeah, we're still getting into that when we're coming to refreshing. Okay,
all right.
So we've done the first one, which is the scaling.
All right.
And now, if you now want to remove yourself from reaching out to people that you've already reached out to before, there's something called ad fatigue in Facebook. You know, have you ever seen an advert on Facebook before and you've seen that advert over and over and over again, and now it just goes away from your memory, right?
Exactly.
So that is called ad fatigue. Now, every marketing campaign faces that, right? When people have seen your campaigns too much, and you know they're getting tired of it, even to the extent of getting bored
of it,
and they don't just want to see the advert again, right? So, and most people may have seen your advert before, and you don't want to keep on showing them the same content, right?
Okay.
So that's where the need to refresh comes in. Yes, so you need to change up your ad creative, perhaps every once in 90 days, change up the ad creative so that people can see fresh content on their
So when you say
devices.
changing up the ad creative, does that mean that putting new content or finding a way to go that's a different kind of, putting that same ad different kind of way, or running an entirely new ad?
Putting that same ad in a different kind of way, you know, it could be changing the background color, it could be rescheduling it, for example. So in Facebook, there's something called ad rescheduling, whereby you could set your ads to run at particular times of the day. So let's say, for example, you could reschedule your adverts and make them run during the day, and then they're not running at night, right? So there's, you can actually do that.
So you can actually do that?
Yes.
Well, that's something I would want to check out because, timing depends. Because if you're planning to reach, let's say, an African audience, you definitely would not want it to go at some time. But if you're planning, if you want to reach a worldwide audience and all of that, that means that you might want it every time, day or night. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so what's the third one then?
The third one now is retargeting, right?
Retargeting, okay.
Yes. So obviously we know that once you run an advert, not everybody that sees that advert at that time is going to buy, right? And then those other people that haven't seen the advert, how do you exactly reach out to them? How do you get them to actually convert? This is where retargeting comes in, right? So you've set up your audiences. Now it's time to retarget them and make sure that those people that saw your advert the first time but that weren't able to buy, they now have an opportunity to actually do so.
So how exactly can you achieve that?
Yeah, so you first of all do what's called creating a custom audience, right? We talked about this.
We spoke about that earlier.
So you create a custom audience, and then immediately, like, it's the first thing I do once I create a new ad account. I make sure I set up the audiences so that everybody that is seeing my advert from the get-go is being put into those audiences, right? So whether it's 3 months from now, 6 months from now, even a year from now, I can actually reach out to those people that have come in contact with my business or with my brand or product or service, and I can actually sell them.
Okay, now there's something I've seen as options in when creating ads. You can set up different audiences as options and have them by default, right?
Of course, yeah.
Where does the need come into advertise or to push to different audiences? Let's say if I put up an ad and I got to a particular age range and all that, would refreshing also mean that I can discard that audience and use another audience?
Of course.
That's also part of
there's a lot of options. I mean, like, if we want to get into the details, it's a lot of things you can actually go into. So you could choose, depending on your objective, right? Just like you mentioned now, you may have a particular objective for your campaign that doesn't align with what you're doing right now. So depending on the objectives that you want, so far as those audiences have been created and you have them as many as possible, there's no limit to the number of audiences you can create on Facebook or on Instagram, right? So once you've created them, it's up to you to now decide, okay, this is this campaign for this season, let me use this audience, or let me use this audience for a different campaign.
Now, people have different ways by which they they decide that their ad has been profitable, has been successful.
Yeah.
What are the best ways? Of course, maybe the first one will be sales. If I can make sales and all that, that's the number one way to know that my ads have been profitable and all of that. But how much, let's say per revenue, how much should people set aside for advertising online? Should you, if by your experience so far, what do you think, what percentage or say, should somebody put in a business revenue? Should someone plan for advertising?
That's a very tricky question.
Yeah, I know. Because people are like, okay, so if, say, for instance, I make 10,000 naira a day, and I know some people will say, I saw one market on Facebook who said she has spent over 500,000 in a year for advertising just on Facebook. So my next question was, so how much did you make? That was what was in my mind. So I know people have different, but what do you think is ideal for somebody who says, okay, I have some money, I want to go into advertising, but what percentage should I use? How much of my revenue should I push towards advertising?
Yeah, I think it depends on the business now that we're talking about, right? Okay. Because the kind of budget you would suggest for someone who is into a restaurant business is going to definitely be different from someone who is into real estate, for example.
Okay, that's
when it comes to something like real estate, there's a lot of convincing that needs to take place, and then it's a higher value purchase, right?
It is.
So you should expect to actually spend more, right? So there's no really...
There's no set...
Yes, there's no set budget for every industry. Industries are specific.
And then, okay, so how do you know a low-performing ad and shut it down? I know we'd mentioned something like that. Yes. But let's say an ad is not performing as it should be. How can you identify and probably let go and maybe work on something, or maybe work on a new ad or something like that?
Okay, so there are some metrics that we look at in Facebook and Instagram, right? Some of these metrics include your CPC, CTR, and your frequency rate and your relevance score. So allow me to just break down all of them.
Okay, quickly. Yeah.
So your CPC simply means your cost per click, right? Okay. Or some people call it cost per lead. This is simply the amount that you're spending to actually get someone to click on your website, or to get an impression. So that is the first thing that you need to check. If your CPCs are getting, if your CPC is low, right, that means your advert is performing poorly, right? The next thing to check is your CTR. So your CTR is your click-through rate. Your click-through rate is number of people that visit your website versus number of people that actually click on it.
Okay.
Right? So if you're getting a high CTR, it means that your advert is actually working. If your CTR is low, it means your advert is not working.
All right.
The next thing is your frequency. So frequency simply means number of people that are actually viewing your advert. Right? If your frequency is getting too high, that means your advert is beginning to get devalued. More people are beginning to see it, and it's going to start working less. And then the last metric is relevance score. So in Facebook, we have something called a relevance score from 0 to 10, right? The higher your relevance score is, it means the higher targeted that your advert is and the more valuable it is to the people that you're advertising.
Wonderful. Now, this is the reason why he is an expert at what he does. These last 3 months just almost threw me off balance. But Ken, thank you very much. Social media, how do people get in touch with you? At your social media?
At DKen on the BC.
At DKen on the BC.
On Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.
He's the man when it comes to adverts. Make sure you head out to him at DKen on the BC. Thank you very much for this series.
Thank you so much.
It was lovely. We'll look at having you some other time on something else.
All right.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so we've heard about coup d'etats, and Yomi has just successfully carried out a coup d'etat. And I don't know his reasons why, but Yomi, talk to us about what your new government is going to be doing. Since you've ousted Mary or something.
I asked Mary to step aside so that I could take over in the kitchen. And I've done that right here. And even Chef Ayo is happy about it. Aren't you happy about it?
Maybe.
She has a smile on her face. Okay, so this morning we're making meatball sauce and pasta.
Yep.
And already we fried some of the meatballs, and it's the first batch. And we have mushrooms in there that's frying.
It's frying. So now we're going to add our pepper sauce.
Okay. The pepper, the brown pepper, the bell pepper.
It's very spicy, so I don't.
Oh yeah, so not too much of that.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see how you're going to work the meatballs into the mushrooms. Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Eventually. At some point. Okay.
Yeah, so we are adding our, what's it called? Tomato paste.
So should I help at any point here, or I should just keep observing?
But we're not adding
paste. Okay, but we're not adding the veggies yet.
No, because I don't want it to be too
soft.
Yeah, too soft.
Okay.
I want it crunchy. So you
can
add
put any seasoning in there?
Garlic and soy sauce and oyster sauce.
Okay.
To fry the mushroom.
But you haven't put any any seasoning.
So you're just going
yet.
to add a little curry powder. Then
A little curry powder.
Yeah.
Okay, just learning how to do this thing. Is this enough?
Yeah, that's okay.
How about a
Then
little bit more?
the thyme.
Okay, the thyme, a little bit of thyme.
Yeah.
Can you guys see me hard at work here? The chef is putting me to task.
Not now.
Okay, not now.
Not now.
The cubes are not now. Okay.
Not now.
Yeah, I saw you put the soy sauce. So what does the soy sauce do to the
Just to give
main
it that
sauce
spice,
itself?
that's very nice. What's it called? Seasoning. Yeah. And gives it a very different taste.
Yeah, let me just see what's going on with the meatballs here. Let's just turn it around a little bit.
Yeah, really helping. Helping.
Oh yeah. I'm helping out. I'm helping out.
So we give this to cook for a minute.
So yeah, so the meal is
meatball sauce
and meatball sauce with mushrooms and pasta.
Yeah.
And pasta. And I don't know if you can see,
So I'm adding
if we can put up the ingredients. Oh yeah, so the seasoning cubes are going into the sauce now, into the mushroom sauce. Yeah, so if we can just have the ingredients on the screen, just in case you're just joining us, we'll have that on the screen later on. And then you can see.
Spicy food, actually.
Oh, very spicy food. But you can also reduce the spices if you want, maybe
but you know me now, queen of spice.
for your own purposes. Yeah, the queen of spice. Too much spice.
So when you see me, you already know it's pepper.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the ingredients on the screen. Not too many. Salt, eggs, garlic, thyme, pepper, spaghetti, mixed meat or minced meat, bell pepper, a vegetable oil, onions, carrots, soy sauce, mushrooms, curry powder, oyster sauce. Oyster sauce. I did see the oyster sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, we already used that.
We had
Okay.
it, yeah.
And tomato paste and seasoning cubes. That's what we have. And that's all you need to make this special meal.
Special meal.
Of course, a little bit of spice and pepper if you want, or if you're a chef, Ayo.
I know.
So it looks like the meatballs are they're nearly ready. They're not quite ready yet.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for that. Because we were the last to add.
Okay, so it looks like this oyster sauce is beginning to take shape gradually. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Very nice and yummy.
And it's pretty thick. I'm seeing that it's quite thick.
Yeah,
Are you
it's
gonna?
thick, yeah. I think we'll...
All right, so we're getting ready to round off this segment. Are you gonna pour that in there?
I am.
Okay, so the vegetables are finally going into the mushroom sauce. And while that is going on, the aroma in the studio right now is absolutely amazing. So while that is going on, we're going to be taking a break and be back for the third hour of Wake Up Nigeria this Thursday morning. Stay.
Welcome back. Now, I bet you found it a little bit difficult to get up from your seat. Yeah. You're not moving anymore. You're staying right there.
But if you have to go to work, make sure you go to work because it's 8 o'clock already.
Yeah, of course.
And we don't want to be the reason why you're late. Remember. So, I mean, you can always stream with us on your way. So,
yes, indeed.
It still works. Now, we have been with you for 2 hours. 2 hours quickly gone by. Lots of things have happened already. Fantastic performance, book chat.
Yeah, tech.
Tech was quite interesting. He was talking about advertising.
And we had a coffee connoisseur in the building as well.
Coffee.
Oh, goodness me.
And what Chef AY is doing in the kitchen is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. She's not even playing at all.
Yeah.
She's not. Can you see? Yes. I know that my portion of food is probably waiting for me somewhere in one corner. But meanwhile, my name is Titi Lyle.
And before I say what my name is, I just want Mike to get out of the kitchen.
Mike,
because I just left
what
there
are you
2
doing?
seconds ago. Just
like,
2 seconds ago.
How did he get in there so fast?
And he's there already.
Please.
Anyway.
Security. Are you? Yeah. You know what? Tell us what your name is.
Yeah, my name is Yomi Ope. You can watch us live right now on TVC Entertainment. .tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Please send in those comments. We love to see them. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yeah, of course, our app is also available for download both on the Android and iOS stores. The app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
And as long as you're doing that, you're going to have a great start to your morning. Still to come, we have quite a bit. We have art display coming your way. Paul Ogunlesi has been in the industry for quite a while, and many of his works can be seen all around the world.
And of course, we had a performance earlier. And this time around, we're going to be having our final guest.
Yes, sir.
You're so beautiful, my future wife. My future wife.
Erife.
Yeah, it's a guy with a nice voice right there. I like him.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Really
sir.
good.
Love the video too. Very colorful.
And of course, our final guest this morning is also coming up. Damilare Kuku. Now, she's been in some recent movies. Love is War, and of course, this year's Chief Daddy. And she boasts, of course, bachelor's and master's degree in theater.
Yes,
That's some serious
dedication.
Some serious dedication. I mean, she knew what she wanted to do, man.
Yeah.
She wasn't a coding school later.
When you have a master's degree in theater, should you just probably go into lecturing?
Oh, no.
Come on.
No. Oh, come on.
I think maybe
I'm just saying now.
So, same thing as me. If
Just become a lecturer.
I would pursue some more degrees when it comes to mass communication, and ultimately I have to give back.
Okay, so you're saying giving back.
Yeah.
I'm saying that those who don't do teach. So as long as you keep doing, right, you might not have to teach.
Yeah, because there are people learning from you. There are people watching you. There are people observing you.
Definitely.
Even interns, for example.
You can do both. You can actually do both.
And I feel
you can be an
that,
adjunct lecturer and all
if
that.
you exactly. I remember then when I see Sam Dede in Uniport then, while he was still big, and I see him come to the crowd and give lectures and all of that, it even gives you your credibility of the movement. Rather than having a lecturer who's teaching me and I do, but this guy is in the industry and all of that.
Yeah.
So imagine, I mean, 4 falls by the time, maybe 5-10 years from now, you're still on TV, but you're in Unilag or somewhere. And Dr. Yomi Owope is having
yes, indeed.
journalism 101 today.
It has a very nice ring to it.
Dr. Yomi Owope.
So I do. I want to do it, like it's a target for me.
There was even you remember Duro Oni, the late Duro Oni. I mean, a lot of these guys were still practicing either in theater or whatever it is, but they were lecturers.
I always thought I hated teaching. Like I always said to myself, I don't know how to teach and all. But a few weeks ago, I got invited to do. There's a particular broadcast academy, and I was told to take the first class. Introduction to presentation.
Wow.
And do you know, when I was leaving, I was like, can I have another class? Why did I sign up for just one? It was fantastic.
Exactly. I think that's
start giving you stress that you know how far.
I know, that's why I won't go to primary school.
Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria is all about the arts and the music, especially on Thursdays. We have Erife in the studio right now, a young Afro-pop, Afro-R&B artist who weaves words and melodies with a pen and a guitar. His journey began in 2017 with the release of his debut project, Erife, the EP. Now he has collaborated with other acts, and his song, Dear Future Wife, is produced by Remy Baggins and mixed and mastered by T.Y. Mix. With that kind of combination and this kind of swag, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be falling in love with this music. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so I did mention your journey started 2017, but music for a lot of people always begins a lot further back.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay.
I started singing like in general from childhood, but my first recording session was 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but like I started taking this thing proper serious when I was wrapping up my law degree. Because that was when I had to choose.
Okay, all right. So law.
Yeah.
Music, law. Not really much of a mix there.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't think so, but there's a lot. Like, there are way more points of intersection than one might think. There's IP. There's IP, like, in general, and then there's artist representation. You know, there's a lot of points where, like, a law degree comes in useful in the music career.
Okay. So what's the response been like? You started 2 years ago. How's it been going?
It's been amazing. One of the things that I was nervous about when I started making music was people would think my music was too sappy, too mushy, because a lot of the time I do like inspirational music or romantic music, generally like positive stuff. And everybody from Nigeria had guy. So yeah, but it's been really encouraging. The feedback has been amazing, especially since this song came out.
All right then. So the name of the track once again is Dear Future Wife.
Yes.
Sounds like a winner to me. Take it away.
Thank you very much.
Boys been buckle for the streets, but you just to be with me, you're my lady, oh my baby, So I'm now promising this, I will always be the reason for your smile.
Whoa! You see, I feel like not taking the art segment. That performance should just continue. Like, wonderful, wonderful. I love melody like this. I love it. Wonderful performance there. Right, you know, it's Thursday. We're having a wonderful time out here. It's not so sunny. Normally by this time, the sun is all out. But we have a cool kind of weather. I love this weather. And of course, what better time than to discuss arts? We have a painter in the house, Paul Ogunlesi. It's great to have you. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Wonderful, wonderful guy. And we've been talking before now, but then, Paul, you've been doing this since you were young, as a kid, as it is with many people. How did you find out, or how did you develop this talent for painting?
The painting was just like a normal thing, and people call it talent. I never knew it's a talent.
You just knew that you liked drawing and you liked painting and all that.
Yes.
But you started with drawing first.
Yes.
Before painting. At what point did the painting come into the equation?
The painting came into the equation at sometimes in 2015. I started applying colors to make human faces.
Wonderful.
Normally, I just do drawings of people. So I just decided one day to apply color. That was back then in 2015.
Wonderful, just 2015. Now, he has Paul has quite a remarkable story. Being an orphan, he lost his parents quite early, but you said about how your grandmom was the support for you. Let's talk about your grandmom. How was she? How did she give that support that you wanted?
Yeah, as a kid, I would say I never knew anybody than her taking me to school. So I believe that the effort that she has added to making me get educated all that I got to be to meet people, and it also helped me to express myself more, seeing friends around and the likes.
So she sent you to school, and then you got to study general arts in Yaba Tech.
Yes, Yaba
wonderful.
Tech.
So he went to do it professionally. That's great. That's great. I like that, Paul. Okay, so Paul has some artworks here. Now we're going to talk about them individually.
No problem.
Let's take a look. This one is up. Okay, let's start from this one here, the far left of your screen, of course, as you can see. What painting is this?
Yeah, this a painting that I titled "The Betrothed." Yes, it was done last year, and as you can see, it's to talk about the kind of expression that comes when somebody is being betrothed, like a shock expression from a young lady that has been given maybe to an allergy or so.
Exactly, I understand. So it's not something that maybe she of her own will per se.
Yes, so that's when you see people dressing like this. In a normal setting, you can't say a wife per se should dress so little and so innocent like this. So that's just what I was thinking about last year, and
that's got how this came about.
To do this piece.
Betrothed.
Yes.
Wonderful. No, but I can see some newspaper clippings and all of that. Is it because that's what you intended to do? You wanted to use? I'm seeing some newspaper clippings and all that by the side.
My works are kind of news to the world. So how do what best thing do I use to talk about that directly for people to really understand? as a countenance artist, like somebody that works with the countenance of people around. So just trying to use the newsprints that you see, whether collaged on it or underneath my paintings.
Let's pick this one.
Yes.
Now, you also mentioned that your style of artwork is expressionist,
Yes.
right? What do you mean by expressionist?
Yeah, just trying to do me and not minding, not having yardstick to how far I can pour out anything. So that's what I'm just trying to use.
So this is a collage or a marsh or
no,
what
this is
exactly
an expressionist painting that consists of collage of newsprint and acrylic paints.
Okay.
Yes. Talking about Perpetrator, that's the title.
Okay,
Perpetrator.
Perpetrator.
It was done earlier this year.
All right, wonderful, Paul. Wonderful, Paul. Yes. This is lovely. This is lovely. It's a masterpiece.
Thank you.
What is
Thank you so
what
much.
is this talking about now?
Yeah, this is titled Our Deal. Yes. So I was talking about looking at the day-to-day women. Just most of them they tend not to really have anything per se. You just see packagings and you really can't find content in them. But looking at this lady, as she's my friend, but when I saw the simplicity at which she dressed last year, I kind of saw that it's simple as a person in appearance compared to her words as a person. So the content that she carries is actually more than the outward. So
I love the message.
It really moved me.
I love this.
It made me to record that.
I love this. I love this one is special. This one is special. So the whole point he's trying to make here is that look, the content is more important than the package. Yes, package is good, but the content, that's what counts more. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
this one is titled Blessing.
Blessing.
So it's a question like blessing.
Blessing.
Yes.
All right.
The dread. Looking at Nigerian society, it's dread a blessing or what exactly it is it now? Looking at how people, the original people that has the dread are looked as maybe witches and witchcraft. They are like sinners, cast away.
They're cast away.
But you are now seeing a kind of another set of dread people doing all the fashion stuff, and it's not original. So at the point I was confused. Is it like a blessing for you to have it or for you to make it?
Wonderful,
so
wonderful.
I was
wonderful.
Just trying to answer that.
Let's talk about this.
Yes,
one.
This particular one is titled State of the Nation.
State of the Nation.
It was done some 2 months ago.
All
so I did it looking at the situation of the country. Like everywhere, you can't really find a very straight path in every angle. Politically, talking about medical field, any part of the country, you just kind of have to buy your way through. I kind of was thinking about all that, so I try to project that in figure. If you look at the world, it's kind of a distorted person.
Wonderful.
So
it's true.
This,
right.
This is
I get the
like the Nigerian of now that I'm seeing.
Right. I'd have loved to talk so much more, but Paul, what's the name of the final piece? What's the name?
This
of that?
one is titled
Just the name.
Yeah, it's titled Innocence.
Innocence, wonderful. It says it all there. Innocence. Thank you so much, Paul.
No
and
problem.
more grease to your elbows. Yes, wishing you the best, right?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Paul, see you at the top. All right, that's all. We can take on our arts display. We'll take this break, and when we get back, we have our guest in the house. Don't go nowhere.
Welcome back. Our final guest is Nigerian actor Damilare Kuku, who was in, of course, the 2019 Love is War movie, and, of course, also in Chief Daddy.
Yes, sir.
That film that was really funny.
That was really...
Crazy.
I was waiting for that.
I wanted to say something, but let me just leave that out. One of the most popular movies this year, actually.
Yeah, very true.
Anyway,
very
she boasts of a bachelor's degree in dramatic arts and also a master's degree. So she's essentially a lecturer.
Yes, sir. Yes. In theater.
In the theater and acting.
But there was also another movie. Was it How Many Virgins was it?
10 virgins.
10 virgins.
10.
I was about to say 12. I didn't want to get it wrong.
10 virgins, like in the scripture, Titi.
10.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You never know. It could have been altered for the movie. But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the studio. You
so
look
excited
amazing.
to be here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you look
You
chill.
guys look good.
Like,
oh, thank you.
You look chill, like, you know.
Oh, really?
You don't like stress.
No, yes, I'm a no drama person. I'm an actor, but I don't like drama.
Really? How does that even work?
I mean, I try to stay away from drama, except when I'm working. You know.
Okay, speaking of drama, when it comes to theater, being on stage and then being on screen, which one do you prefer?
I don't have a preference. I like both. So what I like to do with my working year is the first part of the year I like to work in theater, because theater kind of juggles you, wakes up those, acting muscles, and then do theater for like a month, go ahead to do TV and do a bit of film in between. So yeah, so I don't have a preference, because I've done three: the film, the theater, the TV, and I like all of them. But theater is very, very demanding.
Yeah, very demanding.
Very demanding.
I'm curious though. You have a master's degree
Yes,
in
I do.
theater. Why did you feel that you had to go further and do more of this and learn more in the four walls of a classroom?
I think that you can only impact knowledge when you learn. And what I find with our industry is that most times people don't have, well, not that they don't have, but most actors are usually not learned in the field. They are just actors that, they probably went to some acting school and whatnot. But I really love theater. I knew I wanted to be an actor since I was a kid. So I thought to myself, why not just learn it to the end? So theoretically, and also practice it. I also wanted to do a PhD. I'm still going to do a PhD at some point. I just put it on hold.
I
just feel like
my
you just
career.
like book.
Yeah.
I also really like book.
You like book?
Yeah, my dad is a professor,
Yeah.
so that makes it very easy.
Yeah, it makes it easy as well. It gives you some access.
There is quite a lot of pressure, though, to be better, right? Or do better things.
Yes.
But then again, does the certificate actually do more for you as an actor?
I don't think it does, but you see, the thing with the industry is there are two parts to it. There's like I said, the practical aspect, which is what you start to act. But if you really want to make an impact in the industry, and that's when because I'm not always going to just be an actor. I eventually would want to produce and direct and all of that. For people to trust you with certain positions, they need to know that you've gone farther than the
average.
Or just being an actor.
Yeah.
So I want to, if I'm I'm a doctor, I know that I can afford to approach Ford and say, I want to produce, or I want to do something. If I want to be a platform for actors in Nigeria, I have to do better. And the only way you can do that is when you have degrees. I know that it doesn't really help practically, but a lot of things are done in theory before it becomes practical.
Yes, indeed. One of the things you were just talking about the industry now, and one of the things you said to us before was that the actresses that had gone ahead paved the way for the newer generation.
Yes.
And it's a good time in Nigeria to be an actor.
It is a great time to be an actor. Kudos to the Genevieves, the Omotolas, the Dakores, who really put in the work. I mean, I always tell people on set, these people shot with one camera. Do you know what it means to shoot with one camera? Literally under light and sweating, and they still manage to convince us every single time. I believe the stories. So they've done so much. But now what they've done is they've opened the door for actors of my generation. So for people like us now, it's now left for us to take it to the international frontier. So we've had Genevieve has passed the baton, so now we have to take it further and try and get the industry to the level where the Netflix, the Hulus, the Amazons, we already have people like African Magic, Ebony Live doing stuff for us as actors, but opening up the acting industry for us actors, and that onus rests on our generation of actors, because they've done theirs.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things you've done. I know that there's a movie that just came out, right?
Yes, Love is War.
Love is War. And do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yes, Love is War is a story about family. It's this husband and wife and their child, and the wife is ambitious. She wants to, she's contesting for governor, and then things start to get in the way of everything. Eventually, family and love, presides over everything. And it's RMD, Omoni Oboli, me. It's a beautiful project.
Yeah, I mean, it's in theaters now.
Yes,
I think
it is.
I've seen the posters, and the posters actually look quite interesting. So I'll probably go check it out.
Amazing project.
I'll probably go check it out this weekend. It looks
Okay, so I feel like working with some amazing stars like Omoni Oboli and of course RMD must have been great. What was it like working with them?
It was really nice. Okay, so this is how it started. When I got on set the first day, I was talking to the director, who also happens to be Omoni, and we were carving out how we wanted to play the character and Dana, the role I play. And I'm done with her, we're talking, and I'm walking down, and they go, oh, RMD is around. And I'm like, oh, God. I'm just going to stay and not go say anything. And I hear him say, who is playing my daughter? And then I walk in. So I have worked with RMD before. I've done Castle and Castle with him, Chief Daddy, but we've never shared a scene. So I walk in, and he's sitting down, and he looks, and then he gets up, and he says, what's your name? I said, Damilare Kuku, and he hugs me.
Aww.
And I'm like, oh God, RMD hugged me. And then from that on, it just became mommy and daddy. So Omoni would be like, oh, I'll bring food for you guys. RMD would be like, oh, I'll bring you. He taught me how to eat this garden egg and peanut butter. I didn't know it until RMD was born. I didn't know it was a mix.
There was a connection.
Until RMD brought it on set.
Can you imagine this generation of children?
Oh, wow.
Really?
Wow. Yummy. Really?
I'm just saying.
But we don't have...
Interesting.
We don't have garden egg and peanut butter, but we have something really, really interesting
in the kitchen,
for you to taste.
It smells delicious. I can already. I'm like, oh, wow, this is good.
So we're going to give you a taste of that.
Let's go along. Shall we? Yes.
Interesting actress.
Yeah, very.
We're looking out for you.
Stay right there.
And especially when you start getting your nominations and stuff.
Yes, please. Remember us when you get to your kingdom.
I will.
She said she will. She started handing out commissioner position.
Thank you.
Okay. Today's chef is Chef Ayo.
Okay.
And she's made this pasta with meatball sauce and mushrooms.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you'd like it.
Yeah. I fried the mushrooms myself.
Wow.
You did?
Yumix.
Okay.
But I did now, you guys now.
Okay, it wasn't in the shot. Anything that didn't go on air is questionable. All right, let's give her an opportunity to taste what we have here.
Right.
And as she's doing that, we
shouldn't hold our breath while she does it. Okay.
I'm just gonna start with the one that looks the most.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think?
Oh yeah, Chef AY has a lot of peppers in her.
This is good. This is really good. This is good.
All right. So as she's savoring the flavor in the most dramatic way possible, we are going to be back tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories on the show.
Yes, indeed.
Always.
And of course, thank you to all of you that came on the show today. We appreciate you and everyone who tuned in as well. Now, tomorrow is, of course, Friday, meaning it's game day.
I'm just wondering what the rest of the spaghetti is. Like, there was a lot here.
We will be back. Oh, God. Mike, what did you do with the food? Mike, where's
you
Mike
guys?
is quiet. His mouth
After all my hard work.
That is so strange. Mike is so quiet.
I love your outfit, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Beautiful.
I styled myself.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I'm actually
styled by
I love the
Damilare.
hair.
Thank you. The hair is also by me. So.
All right.
The Friday edition of the show is tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
So make sure you stick around. 6 a.m. Your view is next after this.
Bye.